Yo, and we are live.
Hey ya!
So I think this video we're gonna leave it on. So we'll just we'll leave it on our page. We'll leave it on Facebook. So we're gonna go a little bit until we get some people following, and then we'll start talking. So we'll just wait for a little bit as we get people following. So if somebody comes up, just say hi to them while I also try and invite people here. Oh yeah, already we've got somebody. Please let us know who you are and what were you watching from.
Hi!
Fortunately, this is not telling us. Normally it tells us that so and so is watching. So and so is watching, but this one's not telling us. I don't know why. Hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, two people. All right, so welcome to our Facebook page. Welcome to the live lockdowns, the lockdown live with Mr. and Mrs.
Lives.
Yeah, we promised yesterday that we're going to be doing a couple of videos.
Hey, Rumbi.
Yeah, we promised yesterday that we're going to be doing a couple of videos. This is the time that we'll be on radio ordinarily, right?
Yeah, we would be on radio right now.
But unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we couldn't be on radio. We are on lockdown in Zimbabwe. We're currently on lockdown on day number
2.
Day number 2.
Yeah.
Correcto. So we thought, hey, why not? Why not we do a Facebook Live videos? So tonight, we're going to start tonight. We don't know exactly if we're going to be doing them every day. We'll see how this one goes, if we're going to do this every day. But yeah, for the time being, let's push this one out. So this one, what we're going to be talking about tonight, we're talking about how to survive. Okay, because I had said how to survive.
Survive sounds like, it's something that you just have to do. I mean, you have to make do with it. So, yeah, I don't like the word
But
survive.
that's what people are actually doing. That's what some people are doing. They just need a way to survive. Because some people are already strangling each other. In a few days of the lockdown, some people are already at each other's throats.
Yeah,
so,
but yes, survival doesn't sound too good to me. So maybe instead, what?
Making it.
making it count.
The one that
making
I wrote
it
was
count.
making it count.
Yeah,
So with the current COVID-19, a lot of countries are on lockdown. Zimbabwe is on lockdown. We've got 21 days that we're on lockdown, and so for the next maybe 21 days, we've got 18 days left now. Yeah. For the next 18 days, we're going to be together as husband and wife every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the next 18 days. And so for some people, that is a lot to stomach. So so we want to try and figure out. So we did a little bit of a list that is working for the two of us on how we'll be able to handle that. Because a lot of times, we've never actually been in this position before where we've had to spend so many days together with nobody else, and together with nothing else that you have to do. Where you don't
no
have to
appointments,
go anywhere.
no, I have to go and see so and so. So and so is coming to visit. Nothing. It's just you and you.
Mm-hmm. So already we've begun to see jokes coming out of people that are just already at each other's throats. We've begun to see, just people talking a whole lot of things, about how. So like one that we read about an Ashihera and saying, if you're married to a Ashihera, please. Be allowed. You should be allowed.
You
to
should
at
be
least
allowed
go out
some minutes a day to just go out and refresh.
Because it's hectic. So we're gonna get straight into some of the lists. I think we've got about 5 or 6 things that we wrote down that we thought will help us out when it comes to surviving, or when it comes to making it count. Okay, when it comes to making it count. So number one, maybe if you're watching also, why don't you let us know what are some of the things that you're employing in your marriage as husband and wife, some of the things that you're doing
you're thinking of doing.
To make it count, to make the lockdown count for you. So let us know. So number one, don't major on the minors, right? Do not major on the minors. Number one, that's number one for us. Don't major on the minors. Yeah, hey Julie, how you doing? Yeah, so don't major on the minors, right? So don't fall into the temptation of making mountains out of molehills, because right now we're together, right? And we can see, now we're seeing with a magnifying glass the little things that normally we were able to live with those things, but now
because you're getting them in small doses.
Exactly.
So you would get those little things maybe from, I don't know, maybe 7 p.m. when you both get home from work. From 7 to 10, maybe you're in bed, and maybe the few hours that you have in the morning before, you part your ways, one going to work and etc. But now you're getting the full dose of it because it's 24/7.
Yeah. You're seeing it every single day. So don't major on the minors, right? There are some things that are not life and death. pick your fights wisely, and you think about it. Is it a life or death kind of a situation? You've been able to live with it over the last couple of years that you've been married, because yes, it's not a life or death situation. If it was a life or death situation, you'd have complained about it a long time ago, but you didn't. You just left it. So don't major on the minors. It may look like a long time, but in effect, it's actually not a very, very long time. So you would rather make the most of the time that we've got now by not majoring on the minors. Just let them go. Let the little things go. What are some of the examples, babes?
So if you're like me, I like to have things in a certain way. I like to have the house.
Her mom was a nurse.
Yeah, I like order. I like things
Yeah.
done in a certain way.
Neatly.
So, there's certain things that can really annoy you or get on your nerves. Like you want the bed spread by a certain time in a specific way. You don't want to see any shoes that are not in the correct place and
Hospital
things like
corners
that.
on the bed.
So it
Cupboard
can get
doors
frustrating.
closed.
Yeah, but why leave cupboard doors
Shoes
open?
on the shoe rack.
Exactly.
And I
So
don't
that-
always do that sometimes. I sometimes just leave my shoes all over the place. And sometimes I don't close the cupboard doors.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm sleeping in the closet because the closet doors are open.
Yeah.
Things like that. So it can get really frustrating, and you're like, but I've said this over and over. So why is this there? Why is it not in its correct place? And you can actually pick a fight over something like that. It's interesting to find that there's so many reports now that are actually coming of people actually getting into fist fights over
Over the small things.
the small things.
Yeah.
So try not to pay so much attention on
the small
those
things.
small things, the annoying things that you can see in your spouse.
Because you at the end of the day, you really think about it. What is it worth? If that cupboard door remains open, is that going to spell doom for your marriage? Are you going to really divorce?
Sometimes it feels like it, but
Are you going to divorce just because the cupboard door is not closed? We will try. I will try my best with that. I'll try my best to close the doors and to put my shoes where they're supposed to be and to put my socks in the laundry bin. I'll try my best. But in the times that I don't make it, in the times that my socks fall short and they land halfway between me and the laundry basket, let's not make an issue out of it, right? It's just their socks.
yeah.
They can just
So
be picked up
so pick your battles wisely.
Exactly.
Ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is it really a train smash if I just picked those socks and actually put them in the laundry basket? Things like that.
100%.
Try and ignore as much as
The small things. Yeah, the
Possible.
small things. As much as possible, the small things. Cool?
Yeah,
Right, so we move on to the next one.
Okay, so the next one, sometimes as couples we take each other too seriously. We
Yeah.
become very formal with each other.
Yeah.
So we stop having fun. We stop fooling around. We stop playing around. And
Hey, Pastor Extreme T.
hey, Pastor Titch!
We're watching you just now. So it's good to have you.
So as couples, we stop having fun. We stop being playful with each other, and it's a very formal, very business-like relationship that we
Yeah.
end up having. So imagine 24 hours with someone who feels like they're your boss because they're constantly watching over the mistakes you're going to make, or 24 hours with someone that you feel like you can't really relax or let go because you can't. You don't have that. That kind of a friendship or that
Yeah.
kind of a relationship with them. 21 days can feel like it's a very long
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
So try as much as possible to relax around each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Put away the formalities.
Yeah, and laugh a lot. Laugh at each other. I absolutely love Pastor Titch because I was actually going to use him as an example. They've been doing videos over the last couple of days,
Yeah.
live videos, so many things. I mean, they've done teaching videos,
Yeah.
they've done cookout videos, they have done dancing videos,
Yeah.
they've done. So it's just that we absolutely loved watching
Yeah.
those. So it's things like that. Have fun, laugh at yourselves, and don't take each other too seriously. Loosen up a little bit. Cut each other some slack. It's not your spouse's fault that you're on lockdown together, right? But make the most of it. So find those little things that can be quite annoying. Find a way of spinning them and just laughing them out, especially if you know that this is the little annoying thing that I do and you do it, even though you're not intending it, you don't do it consciously to upset your spouse, but you do it anyway, right? Laugh about it. Just make a meal out of it.
Like the socks thing that we were just talking about. So some of the things that we, just to try and diffuse the situation, it's like, hey, but at least today you were closer to the basket. Something like that. And just laugh it off, because if you take yourselves too seriously, you can easily be at each other's throats, because that small thing can look like a humongous thing.
Absolutely.
If you don't take the time to actually downplay it and laugh about it.
Exactly. All right, so the next thing that we are doing to make sure that we make these days on lockdown count is pray together. I think that's actually probably one of the most important things that you can do together, right? Pray together. Dr. Ed Louis Cole, in his book, I think it was Maximized Manhood, said that you become intimate with the one who you pray to, the one who you pray for, and the one who you pray with. So now imagine if you tick two of those boxes with your spouse, right? Obviously, you can't pray to your spouse. So you pray to God. So you become intimate with God, the one who you pray to. You become intimate with your spouse, with the one you pray with. And you become intimate with your spouse again, the one that you pray for. So if you pray for and pray with, those are two levels of intimacy already that you can become. So it's so important to pray together, especially in the times when things are hectic. It diffuses a whole lot of things. I mean, imagine, like when we pray, we hold hands when we pray. So imagine if there's an issue between us, right? We're fighting, and we say we don't sleep without praying. That one is we do not sleep without praying. That's a must. And so that's a non-negotiable. And so when we're praying and we've got an issue between us, and we hold hands and say, babe, let's pray. I mean, obviously you're bound to just crack up. So I mean, it diffuses the tension, it diffuses the issues that are there. So pray together. Pray. It's very, very important for you to pray together.
Yes, and what's Pastor Teach saying there?
Some husbands on lockdown. Okay, husband's lockdown was decided by the wife's. By what was decided by the wife committed. Okay, so the thing is, we've got a little rubber band there that's closing the screen to hold that. So some words we may not be able to see. But yeah.
All right, so pray together. And then the fourth one is read together. So it can be reading together if you both like reading, or you could watch things together like you're doing right now. Read books, find material that can that you both find interesting, or even marriage material that can actually help in building your marriage. We know a couple that actually every day they give each other 15 minutes of watching together.
Our pastors,
our pastors.
And they constantly recommend that, and they said, you know what, every day when we wake up in the morning, we make sure that we spend at least 15 minutes watching. They watch Marriage Today by Karen and Jim and Karen Evans, and so they watch that for 15 minutes. And so, like, if you're not like an avid reader, you can even just go for the short route, the blogs or the what you call them, the articles on the online articles. You can use those if you're not podcasts. If you're not a big reader, where you can decide to finish a whole book together, go for the small articles. So, like, and the good thing about reading now, the trick about reading is that there might actually be an issue that you have been having as the two of you, right? But you didn't know how to sort of address it. You don't know where to start on addressing it, but you do know that there's an article that talks exactly about the issue that you're facing. Why not just suggest that you read that article together?
Yeah, so you read it together, and you can even then at the end of it just discuss, okay, so how do we implement this? How do we make this something that we can apply in our own marriage? So imagine by the time you come to the end of the 21 days or however long you have now, imagine the strides you have taken in your marriage to build your marriage, to strengthen your marriage. So those are little things that you can do. I mean, it's 15 minutes of the 24 hours that you're going to have together, but it's 15 minutes of power, 15 minutes of building your relationship.
Absolutely. And sometimes maybe just one of you may not like that, but it's okay. You can just keep nudging, keep suggesting. Like our pastors, they said, Pastor Tom didn't actually enjoy doing it at first, but Pastor Bonnie kept on encouraging, kept on nudging, and now they're in it together. So it's very, very important for you to try that. Don't give up. Just continue trying, and eventually you will have that time to be able to just watch these things together and learn together as you go. So podcasts or read or something that you can do together, even early in the morning or just late at night before you go to bed.
So, number 5. Hey, Deborah. Number 5.
And Wadzi says,
Oh,
I'm
what's
watching
his thing?
alone.
Hey, Wadzi.
Where's Sam? Get Sam to come here.
So, number 5, define the big wins for your marriage. What are some of the things that you're saying, okay, at the end of this lockdown, this is something that we would have said we have achieved as a couple, or we have planned to start implementing once this, this whole thing passes and we can now go about our day-to-day. What are some of the plans that you would have had by that time? So, take this time to actually plan, take this time to actually, bring back certain things into perspective. Because, when we run around with our day-to-day activities, there's so much that takes away our attention, such that, we can lose
Sam,
track.
nice.
Hey, Sam,
Welcome,
good.
Man. We're waiting for you, bro.
Such that you can be diverted, you can be sidetracked of the plans that you had initially. So take this time as time to, reboot, time to refocus and just find out where you were at, and make plans, and fix what needs to be fixed, correct what needs to be corrected, and cast a vision where a vision needed to be cast.
Absolutely.
So use this 21 days wisely.
So define the big win. What is the big win? What is the one thing or the two things or the three things that you want to see by the time that this is done? It could be we want our communication to be a lot more freer, for us to have less tension when we communicate big issues. So then when you have defined your big win, it makes it easier for you. So when you have defined a target, it makes it easier for you to aim and shoot for it, right? But unlike a situation where you're just aiming in the dark, you don't know what you want to achieve, you don't know where you want to go. And we've been given a unique opportunity. These 21 days or these 18 days are such a unique opportunity where you're saying it's a sprint, right? It's such a sprint because it's only 18 days.
Yeah.
It's different from the beginning of the year where we're saying, okay, so this year we want to achieve this, and that. It can feel long and so drawn out and a marathon. But this is a sprint. So you can use this and take advantage of it and say, okay, in these 18 days, what can we do to make sure that by the time we're done, we no longer have tension when we communicate big issues? Then you say, okay, fine, maybe let's look for articles that talk about communication. Read articles that talk about communication. Let's look for videos or podcasts that talk about, whatever issue that you may be facing in your marriage, and say we want this issue to have been dissolved or resolved, or at least we may be on our way to fixing it by the time we're done with this lockdown. So define the big win.
It can be forming a new habit together. So this is enough time for you to actually form a habit. I mean, if you decide that by tomorrow, first thing when we wake up, we are going to do an exercise routine together. And so you begin to do that every day of, this time that we are together. Imagine by the time it comes to an end, you actually have a routine and a habit that you have formed as husband and wife that you can carry through. So think of a habit that you want to cultivate as a couple and begin to implement it right now. I mean, you can take walks right around your yard. Something like that. But it's, it's the first step to the greater vision that you may have ultimately.
Exactly. So form habit. It could be. So just define, as long as you define what it is, but make sure you define it. Don't leave it to chance, because the days are moving. They'll move. By the time before you know it would be done, and you have nothing to show for that time that you were together 24/7. With no jobs, with no school run, with nothing. You can't really. There's nothing tangible that you'd have been able to obtain from these days. So define the win. What is the win? And then go for it. Yeah.
I mean, it's easy. Usually people make an excuse and say, okay, we'll talk about this later. I'm really tired now. I've had a long day at work. Or we'll talk about this later. There's so much on my to-do list right now. There's a lot going on. But right now, there's no to-do list. There's no, school run. There's no, I have meetings, or I'm very exhausted, from work and all that. It's you and your spouse. So this is enough time for us to actually get to deal with those things that we're shelving and thinking, we don't have enough time right now. We'll deal with them later on.
Yeah. All right. So the last one, we wanted to make this quick and painless. So the last one, which is my favorite one. The last one.
What? I think they can actually guess what the last one is.
What do you think the last one is?
Your favorite.
Yeah, just somebody random. Just what do you think the last one is? Just random. Please type for all the people that are watching. What do you think the last one? What do you think the last one is going to be? I want to see this. Come on, type someone. What do you think the last one is going to be?
Okay, just give it to them.
No, I still wait for one comment. What what do you think? What do you think the last tip is
What
going to
could be Simba's favorite
the last
tip?
thing that as husbands and wives?
Jogging. Oh, come on.
Right. Is that what you guys call it? Is that what you guys Pastor Tish and Pastor Francisco call it jogging? That's fine. That's fine. I mean it comes by a lot of other names in different marriages. There we go, Sasha. That's what I'm
Trust
talking about.
you, Sasha.
That's what I'm talking about. Sex is the word. Sex is the word. Sex is the word. Use this period to really liven up your sex lives, guys. Like don't just
I like the way you
become passionate
you become
about
so passionate
I
and
become
so alive.
when we talk about unzipped, stretch yourselves, to explore galaxies that you've never set foot on. This is the opportunity. Either because you couldn't go there because you didn't have time, or because you were tired. Right now you've got the time. And what's gonna make you tired? So I think those two excuses for now, for the next couple of poor connection. Okay, we're still back. I thought we'd gone there. So for the next couple of weeks, Silva, you're a prophet. Hey, hallelujah. For the next couple of days, you have taken those two excuses out of the equation. Being tired and
Busy.
not having enough time. So you know what? Go for it. Explore yourselves, and you will be amazed at the benefits, You'll be amazed at the gains, that you will make if you achieve sexual synergy. My goodness. So challenge each other, even do challenges, hey?
Yeah.
Challenges. Go for like a 3-day challenge, like a 4-day challenge. You want to see the maximum number of times that we can actually have sex in a day, and rest in one day, and just
Yeah, be creative.
Be creative.
Be creative. You've got the time on your hands. Why not?
Yeah.
I know it's funny that people can listen to this and think, is sex the only thing you can think of, or things like that. But it's amazing how many people actually get into divorce courts because of the sex issues. So take this time also to correct what had gone wrong in your sex lives. Take this time to bring the fire back and the passion and the excitement and the creativity. Take this time to actually feed into that and see where it takes you.
Yeah, and then have fun with it. And guys, also, just because we've mentioned that, don't be boring about it, right? I mean, just also find ways to seduce your wives, guys. Come on, seduce your wives. Don't just poker. You know what I mean? Be creative. Exactly, Zivi. That's the one. Be creative. Don't just poker and just make it fun. Make it boring. Make appeal. Be appealing. Seduce her. Find ways to seduce her. Find ways to entice her. Find ways.
I like that for a change. Is the guys who are being told.
No, the reason why I'm saying that is also because I'm also guilty of that. I admit. I'm not ashamed to admit. I've been very guilty of sometimes not being romantic enough and sometimes not seducing enough. And
is that a confession?
It's a confession. Hopefully that it'll give me a couple of points to just get in there. So yeah, I mean, it's not just for the ladies to be the ones that because like I'm wearing perfume. I'm wearing perfume. And bath, guys, come on, bath.
Ish, yeah. So
in fact, this is for everybody, not just guys. Because it may seem like I'm just hitting hard on the guys, but for everybody, even the ladies. But though I know sometimes, but this is not an excuse because you can't expect her to want to kiss you when you haven't brushed your teeth. When they're odors. I mean, at least take care of that.
Yeah, the lockdown is not a lockdown on your hygiene.
Yeah.
Take a bath.
Be blameless. Be blameless. At least you be blameless, and you go there and just like I was blameless in this kind of.
Okay,
if it has refused, it has refused, but not because there was something wrong that I did. I was blameless in this whole thing. Okay. I said if it has refused. I translated from
direct translation.
I'm Sean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So so those are the 6 things that we are trying in our marriage to at least figure things out, to make sure that these 21 days that we've been on this lockdown, or 3 days so far, 2 days so far, 18 days left, that we will at least make our marriage richer. We'll make our marriage more exciting. We'll make our marriage a lot more colorful. That by the time that we're done, we can look back and say, while it was forced on us, we did make the most out of it, and we had fun, and our marriage is all the more great for it. Yeah. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna try and read all the comments that
Ivy, let the men what?
Let the men speak. Sam says it again. Don't say perfume. I'm done. Go spray that thing, man. It works. I promise you. Seduce your wife. My wife got me a perfume called Seduction. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nice.
So yeah, it's coded, obvious. Yeah. So yeah. Well, so thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. So we will try to do another one tomorrow as well, with a couple of more things that we'd like to talk about. We want to try and make this as interactive as possible, so that we also talk, so that we don't talk down to people, but we also exchange ideas, because marriage is a learning thing. We don't have it on lock. We are also learning. That's the reason why we do this. It's because we want to learn as much as we can, so that we can make our marriages better, for our sake and also for our children's sake. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you again very, very soon when we do the next one, and this time around we'll try and advertise it, so that you can know about it. Today we just got on, but yeah, cool beans.
It's good to have you, and thank you for watching, and try as much as you can to implement some of the things that we discussed tonight, and also come up with your own. You know each other. You know what makes your spouse tick. Do those things. Even the things that you had long forgotten or long shelved. This is the time to bring them out again, and start implementing them. So yeah,
absolutely. All right, cool. Mr. and Mrs. here. Thank you guys, and remember,
keep on loving.
Keep on loving.